And with that said, I thank the brother curator. I haven't forgot. I want to thank you. I want to give you your best props for bringing the show here. Please, this brother deserves it. Yes, thank you. You're on, brother. From New Jersey. We got Jersey in the house. New Jersey. Jersey.
Hello, I'm Cornelius Taylor. Like you said, I'm from New Jersey. My piece is the red, black, and blue piece, the third piece over there. I had the distinct advantage for me to come in the show after seeing some of the most positive work I've seen in the last 20 years, all around one topic and showing so many different perspectives. I came in late as an artist and seeing the scope of the life that a young black male can lead in this show really opened up my eyes. So I had a chance to go and specifically do a piece for the show. And the reason why I picked red, black, and blue as the title is because here in red, white, and blue, there's an inherent belief that there's an American dream out there to be had. Supposedly, though the American dream for us as African Americans is completely different. Exactly, it's a nightmare. And along those roads, sometimes we get battered and bruised. So that's where it came in, red, black, and blue. Even though we represent the same thing that the rest of America would, we get battered and bruised along the road, whether to build America or to just be in America sometimes. Stop and frisk, civil rights movement, it's all found in that piece specifically. 20 years ago, I was Trayvon Martin. By the grace of God, I escaped it. I grew up in New Jersey, but not Secaucus, not Hoboken, not any of the big cities. I grew up in a small, small town with very, very traditional values called Salem, New Jersey. You probably... Oh, yeah, very, very South Jersey. You wouldn't just hear about it in passing in regular day life, but in Salem, it's literally 4 square miles wide. I had just gotten my license at 17, and I went to pick up my best friend to take her to the movies. I was like, oh man, I got my license. I'm going back there, and it's anybody that's ever been to Salem. There's literally it's all back roads and fields. Reminiscent of the South, maybe if you're right. I made a wrong turn. And pulled onto a dirt road that belonged to an off-duty police officer. He saw me pull in, and he scrambled him and his buddies to their vehicles and blocked me into his driveway. I had a small little Hyundai, my mom's Hyundai. Anybody's know Honda, you're not getting away with anything in a Honda. You're not speeding off in a Honda. Right. He blocked me off, and they pulled out guns, and they approached my car. And there was a side note, there was a clothing line out back in the day called Carl Canine. I had a knockoff brand of Carl Canine. So it was all dyes and everything. It wasn't the actual brand. So I was sweating so bad that the colors ran in my clothes. They came over to the car and they knocked on the window with the guns. And they told me to roll down the window. And I'm literally in the middle of nowhere. So I know if I die, there's no way you're gonna find me back there. Me or that Honda. And neither one of us is gonna be found back there. He asked me what was I doing back there. I told him, I was being as honest as I could. I was like, look, I made a wrong turn. I didn't mean to come down here. Look, it's a mistake. She was like, well, the reason why we're out here is because, it's a lot of people trying to steal my lumber. And I immediately thought to myself, I got a Hyundai, like, how can I be getting away with lumber? But, I digressed. I was like, hey, look, I'm not here to steal any lumber. I just made a wrong turn to try to stay as calm as possible. He's getting a kick out of seeing the colors run on my clothes and me being as nervous as possible. But somehow, they let me go. They made me drive around into the ditch and around their cars and then, back out onto the road. So my mom's car was as muddy as I don't know what. So I immediately ran to my grandfather's house, the patriarch of the family. And he's from Pocomoke, Virginia. So it is exactly how it sounds. Pocomoke, Virginia. And he's really, he lived through the civil rights movement, and we've always had a difference of opinion. And I remember I ran to this strong black man hands as big as anything I've ever seen, fingers like sausages. And I said, grandfather, this guy just pulled out guns on me. And, he was ready to shoot me. Like, let's do something. Let's call somebody. And I remember he said to me, he was so nervous and he was so afraid for me. He said, never go anywhere new if you've never been there before. And me as a 17-year-old, I'm looking like, that's crazy. That makes no sense. But when I became a father, just the sheer panic of your child being in that situation, being in a situation like Trayvon Martin, you say things out of fear that you may not actually mean, but you're just afraid for that child that you just want to take their place. And like I was telling Mr. Mills the other day when I was hanging a piece, it came full circle. His knowledge and his fear and his need to try to protect me by whatever means necessary forced him to say that to me. But it drove me to understand him better and understand what we go through, that void that's there between, as Mr. McDowell was saying, the grandparents that used to watch over those younger kids, and those younger kids that think they know it all, that disjoint that's there. That is exactly that piece. It's that red, black, and blue. That young man is being victimized. I made it a tight shot. I made it a crop shot so that you see exactly what's going on to that young man. He could have been a criminal. It could have been many things going on. But what we see as a regular basis is they rather do that first and ask questions later. So that was the basis for my piece. I thank you all.
If anybody has any questions, feel free to grab the mic. Or else. Oh.
I like your story that you told. I grew up in Jersey, a place called Morristown. You heard of Morristown? And I know there's a lot of prejudice in those towns. And I really applaud you for your courage and your work. May the Lord bless you and thank you. Give us that beautiful image you gave. Yes.
No.
Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
No.
I just basically want to say I'm glad I came up, and I'm also from New Jersey. So when he was talking about Salem, I'm from North Jersey, but I know exactly basically what you're talking about. I've never been there, but I've heard stories, so I basically applaud you for your efforts. And a lot of times, basically, when you live in Jersey, there are just certain things that happen. And, sometimes you just have to roll with the punches. But you just really got to kind of get tired of that because it seems as if, people just take advantage and then, things just keep happening and, they just want you to just kind of just go along and get along. And so I just kind of fight back because I'm also a photographer and I just feel that's right. So I basically kind of, express myself that way. But God bless you guys and it's an awesome exhibit.
Thank you. Question?
First of all, thank you to the artists and thank you to Brother Mills and thank you to my friends from the National Action Network who told me about this exhibit. The piece in front of me with the red, black, and green, that is evocative and tearful. I just want to know something more about it from the artists, if I can.
The artist is Ray Williamson. He's not here today. He should be by tomorrow.
Thank you, Brother Owens. Any questions? Come on, I know you got pressing questions.
The question is to you, Mr. Mills. What did you use for the eyes?
What I can tell you, now, every household, I know, when you were growing up, your mom and dad say, put it in the junk drawer, right? So, raise hands. Every household has a junk drawer, right? So, when I was growing up, my mom used to say, I can't afford to buy you kids stuff, just go play in the junk drawer. So, the junk drawer became a place of exploration to go in and look and find stuff and put it together. So it's something that's from when I was growing up. We used to find stuff and make things out of. So these are all found objects. And you'll be surprised, the streets of New York are filled with, for me as a found artist, you know, it's like a gold mine. But, any other questions? Oh wow, you guys are letting us off easy, you know?